Okay, welcome. Another episode of Terrain Tuesday. Let me adjust my TV monitor here just a little bit so I can read easier. Alrighty, Rudy. Hello, Hobby Habit. How are you doing? Can everybody hear me okay? I hope. I hope. I'm moving my monitor some way or another here. Something not right. Adjust this here so I'm not staring off into space and looking like a freak. All right. Oh, okay. I think I just pulled my monitor loose. Hold on just a minute. It's going to be one of those kind of nights. Put that back in. Yay, we have a monitor. All right. Oh, I've been rearranging everything in here because we had everything exploded for the convention. And it's still in flux. So, are you managing to recoup? A little bit. I kind of took yesterday off. Today, I had to hit the ground running. We've got a million things going on, as always. So, and everything that got put off over the weekend as far as wife things, mother things. So I had to do a little catch up on those today. I am still standing, actually. I mean, the show overall was not as taxing, really, as the first one. Mainly because, like Party Bear, we had some help. So it made it a little easier for all of us so that James and I didn't have to spend 3 days sitting on stools. So that part made it a lot better, and it made it a lot better to enjoy. So as I was getting everything put together today and trying to figure out what I was going to do for tonight, I realized I really didn't have anything to do for tonight. So we're just going to kind of a after con show. We'll talk a little bit about whatever anybody wants to talk about, as usual, even though we're kind of titled these shows, but it usually devolves into other conversations. So we will, but we need ideas. What does everybody want to work on next? The desert stuff pretty much got done. There was I intended on making a little in the middle of the desert village or whatever. So, hello, James. How are you tonight? A deep dive conversation into rock fine dining. Yeah, you guys have gone that next level with the whole rock stuff. So I don't know. That's too much. Maybe too much information at this point. I am sorry to hear that you are poor. Poor as in the way you feel, or poor in your pocketbook? I know you had several things you had to take care of. So, Crashed Badger Terrain Project. Yeah, I need to start sketching that out a little bit and figuring out how I'm going to do that. Pockets. Well, that's better than your health. So, as you say, always try to look at the good side of things. We had and on top of that, we had another beautiful day of wind. It absolutely switched directions and blew out of the north today. And I don't know what it blew in, but my eyes have been watering, my nose has been running all day. So, how about some desert terrain objectives? That could be well. That's kind of in the line with the village and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, I could come up with that. CAVRPG is blowing up on Discord. Well, and that is good. I am glad that everybody's excited, and I am too. But make sure we temper our expectations here. There are 50 projects here that's got to be done, and RPG has just got thrown onto the pile. So everybody needs to realize that we will. It's going to be baby steps. So help, don't get too crazy on me. Yeah, and actually that might be because the crash drop ship is going to go together with a new. It's not really new. It's an old scenario that I used to run. We should have James show up at ReaperCon dressed as Dana Murphy. I do not think that you want to see that. So, but maybe we can find somebody that can pull off Dana Murphy. That would be cool. So, anyway, the crash dropship is for a scenario that I used to run that was called A Tale of Two Cities. And basically what it is, it's an invasion on a world that have two major cities relatively close to each other. Kind of like the Twin Cities in Minneapolis or whatnot. So in between them is a river and a bridge. And basically what has happened is the two sides each control one of the cities. So one side's still defending, the other side's attacked and captured one of the cities. So there is a drop ship incoming, bringing in supplies or whatnot for either side, and it has been shot down. So as the drop ship come crashing down into it broke apart and it dropped these big supply crates all over in the ground and whatnot, and then finally crashed into the ground. So basically between the two cities. So there's crates on both sides of the river. There's crates up on the bridge, wherever. And there's crates in the crash drop ship. So the objective is in a certain amount of time, because both sides are needing supplies, to capture as many of those supply crates as possible. And so you have to get out there, you have to get the supply crate and get it back to the control zone or whatever. So whoever has the most supply crates at the end of the battle is the winner. The problem is you have a certain number of crates on your side of the river and a certain number of crates on the other side of the river that are equal. So the only way to win is you got to get to the other side and at least steal one of the other side's crates. So it makes for an interesting set of battles at the bridge and whatnot. So that's where that's headed. So maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to start sketching up the board and figuring out what we need for it. That way we can build a couple of stuff for the towns. I don't think that we've done a whole lot of city stuff yet. So that might be cool. That might be a cool board to do. I know that I need to start converting all my green trees and stuff over. So that's a possibility. Been getting my crafting mat cleaned off today. It built up lots of stuff. The crates contain coconut. Yeah, and see, there's another one on my list. I'm supposed to be coming up with a coconut shirt. so I've got that. Yeah, and that might be, because we're starting to work on the Trinity City stuff. I did want to do some damaged buildings and stuff as well, so that might be cool. That might be a way to go, is start working on those kits. So, but definitely the drop ship, because the drop ship's got to be busted apart, and it's going to have a piece of board that it sits on, because I want to build, like a big rut, where it's driven down into the field and everything. So, but that would make an interesting working on the inside. I have to see some of the inside of the ship. So, I have to look at some art that some people have drawn of crash ships and stuff to kind of get an idea of how I want to bust it apart. So we've got that going. What else? We are, most of the day today was just getting everything ready again. I mean, we had stuff piled up and pushed to the side for everything. We are resetting for shipping and everything like that. So if you've got an order in, don't panic. If you want a gift certificate or a prize, hang in there. We'll be getting it all together, organized. So, how hollow is the Badger MDF kit when put together? It's almost totally hollow. There's 2 or 3 ribs, or I guess bulkheads in the main body. I think there's 1 in each of the 4 pods, but I left it where if you, like I said, if you're a serious modeler and you want to go in there and cut some pieces here and there to do something different, you can. So you'll be plenty able to go there. We are. I'm in the hangar. I had to come down here to get everything ready, since we're getting the Badgers ready to launch. So the cool thing, and thank God James helped me on it. We spent one afternoon painting one of the walls in the studio all green, so we don't have to hang anything back here or anything like that now. I've got a nice big green wall behind me, so it's easy to drop in backgrounds and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. It'll be easier to do some things. So getting more official. But yes, live from day 23. Getting ready to launch, going on vacation to see new planets. Let's see, what else? I hope you don't any. I actually do. I one time wore a green shirt when we were doing our show back, because I used to have we had a green screen back here with the fabric and everything, but so I have to double make sure on broadcast days that no green shirts, nothing with greens. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I did. I was a floating head. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I probably shouldn't have wore a green shirt. Well, good, Chandler. Well, I hope you kind of enjoyed the first one. I mean, come on, give us a throw a dog a bone. Um, but yes, that was the best part of this one. It was so cool to have other people participate. We were able to watch. You know, if we weren't on, we were watching the show. We had it down on the TV down in the shop, so we could watch it while we were working on some things. So. John, roughly how many Badgers are preparing to fly to new homes? Rough count of the current Badger fleet. I don't have an official count. I know that there's a bunch of them. I want to say maybe right now 30 or 40. I know that there was some more ordered today, so that's good. I'm glad everybody is excited about them. I'm glad everybody, when we were putting this originally together, I was like, with the cost and everything like that, nobody's going to want these, but it seems like it's been pretty popular. So that'll be good. It is. It's going to take a little more effort here. I really didn't expect to sell that many, so that's on me. But we'll get up to speed. We have plenty of material, etc., and everything like that for it. It's just a matter of getting it all going and started and in production more so. And I've got a couple little tweaks I still have left due to it. I got started on that this afternoon, and then real life got in the way. So that's my plan for tomorrow morning. So I just kind of, once I realized where everything was dumping this afternoon, I just said F it and got everything done for everybody that they needed me to do. Yeah, I am. The cool thing about the Amethyl will be, it will be designed from scratch. You know, with the Badger, I had something that I had to kind of stay with, and I chose it because I knew it would lend itself well to a MDF kit. But doing the Amethyl kit, and that will be strictly from design right off the bat, all new. I can do whatever I want to do as an MDF kit, and I think that'll be fun. That'll be interesting to do. I'm sure everybody will go, and I'm not going to do it with the Amethyl, I don't think, but I really would like to do, the big round drop ship. I know that's kind of, battle techy or whatever, but that original drop ship came from 2001, A Space Odyssey. So I've always liked that design. Yeah, I mean it was a block. Yeah, there was some lessons learned from the Badger. I've already done 2 or 3 little kits I did around here in the house. That part of it, it's just trying to make it fit into what the other thing was. So, painting contest results. I started working on those last night, getting the pictures ready. I literally have to go in and adjust every picture. I've got big ones, little ones. I've got 5 meg pictures. I've got, So I'm just going through everybody's pictures. I'm getting them cleaned up. I'm getting them cut down so that they fit our format. We will have that up this week. So stay tuned. In the universe, is the Badger a small, mid-size, or a large drop ship? I would say it's probably it's a smaller ship. it's one in the game that we call an assault drop ship. So it's actually designed to land, I mean, right, either land or come down and drop its stuff off right in the battlefield. So, yeah, I should have. The reason I didn't is because we've done that in the past, and you know, and when I've helped with Reapers stuff like that too. 80% of the people out there have no idea how to adjust a resolution or a size. They take a picture with their phone, they take a picture with their camera, and that's about as good as they are. So that's the reason I didn't go ahead and bother putting it in there, because I knew that it wasn't going to work. But maybe I should have done it, I guess, in hindsight, so that the other 20% would have been right. So, but that's okay. And naturally, I had kind of hoped to have more of it done before the show, but pretty much for the most part, I got bombed over the show. So I was cleaning out the folder as fast as I could all day, and just there's a lot of pictures in there. So hang in there. We'll get you all straightened out. So we're not going anywhere. We're just sometimes a little slow. A flattened teardrop shaped drop ship. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. It'll be something I'll start kind of sketching out. So, well, I mean, we painted with the show. Like I said, when you're when Party Bear and James Wapple and everybody and Chris Friday night was going, we were down. There's a big table in the shop that's kind of the go-to crafting table or whatever when we're not doing other things. So we all sat around the table. We painted on stuff. We worked on the CAVBoss stuff. We worked on the CAVBoss board. So yeah, we painted along just like with everybody else. You were saying Badger is an assault dropship. Yeah, an assault dropship is basically, I mean, it's basically what that class of ships is across each faction. That if you look on the downloads, it's got the list of everything. Each faction has a dropship up in the top deal. So those are their go-to assault dropships for each faction, and they're designed for 4, 5, 6 calves. Maybe 10 vehicles, maybe whatever that it is supposed to do, but they're designed to, they ride in with a, whatever the interstellar ship is that they're all hooked to, that brings them into the area, and then they scatter out, because the idea behind those assault ships is, they know that ships are going to be destroyed. So they typically do not try to put all their eggs in a basket during an assault. So rather than have, one big drop ship with 70 calves or something like that, trying to drop in the middle of a combat, they spread them out. So each assault drop ship has a certain amount and a section that it goes to. So, that's what they are. They're designed to land in or close to the fight, be able to kind of lay down fire to help get the guys deployed, things like that. So Badgers are pretty heavily, all assault drop ships are heavily armored. They are designed to take damage because they know they're going to get in there. They have a much more defensive nature than they have an assault nature. So, and if they need to actually land, they also serve as kind of a point for the attached models to work from. So that's where they'll have turrets and things like that that they can stay there on the battlefield, do some suppressing fire and whatnot, and give a place for the troops to come back for resupply, etc. Drop ship or transport. These are all drop ships. They are not able to travel between stars. They are strictly an interplanetary type ship. So there is a mothership that they come in with and are deployed from. They can either one. Badgers can land. They can hover right off the ground. Calves are able to have a bit of a jump out there. They can actually jump out at even higher areas if they're equipped with grav belts. They have basically attachable grav belts that they can put on a vehicle or whatever that basically serves to get them down to the ground. And then once they're down, the belt gets blown off. So, hi there, Elman. Welcome to the chat. So, we're kind of talking drop ships. We're kind of talking about future projects. So, is that ODST? It can be. Yeah, I mean that's basically what it is. Is they're higher end up drops, but it's the same principle. They wear grav belts. Well, it would depend on the level that they're dropped from, but most of your ODST, they're still gonna be able to come in. It just depends on the level that they're being dropped from. If it's a higher level drop, they are typically can be deployed with kind of a heat shield sort of that's designed as they reach a certain level to break apart so that it adds a lot more targets for things to hit. So, but as far as anti-AA, there's really not a whole lot they can do. I mean, they obviously, they would be able to shoot at something as they came down. To what level, to what degree, or whatnot, I don't know. But that's the same way that jump infantry use. I mean, they're grav belts, so they're not like jump packs or whatever. But make sure that if you are using ODST, there is a clarification and an update in the errata. So, wait, another one? Yes. So make sure you pay attention to that because it is a little somewhat different than what was in the book. I want to be an airborne ranger. All right. So I guess I will we'll start looking at some objectives to build. We'll look at working on the crash drop ship. We need to do some more water. I haven't got all my water done either, so kind of for you guys to see how those turn out. More dangerous job, cav pilot or assault dropship pilot? Probably, I guess if you go on a percentage, it's probably an assault dropship pilot because there's probably a lot less assault dropship pilots than there are cav pilots. So percentage-wise, it goes. Will there be another rule book printed? I don't know. What we're going to do, we've mentioned this before. The first JOR will have the updated construction system and everything from the very back of the book included with that. So we'll take the system from the rule book, we'll add in the errata, clean it up, whatever we got to do to it, and that will be attached in the JOR. So it's going to update what's already in there, but not, because basically here's what we've got is the rule book is 80% accurate at this point with errata and clarification. I mean, because a lot of the errata is just clarifications, but but the rule book is I will say this: we're almost out of rule books, so that probably will have something to do with it down the road too. But then the rules of engagement book will have the core rules. So we'll just print that section of 30 pages or whatever, again updated with errata and whatnot, in that book. So yes and no. We're adding new books to the deal, but we're not really replacing the original rule book. We're just going to update in the section, so that kind of gives you extra reason to buy the new books, because I'll have those sections in there. So we're not trying to invalidate your original book completely and totally. So, but I know everybody would like to get it in a cleaner and everything like that. I do plan as well. At that point, we'll probably release those sections as a PDF or whatever as well. So I know a lot of people have asked for them. I'm not big on putting. I'm a book guy. I guess I'm just too old school. Me and James was having that conversation over the weekend, and I like having a book in my hand. I'm not big, but I know you younger guys and more tech guys like to have that PDF in your phone or your iPad or whatever. So we'll see about formatting sections of it or whatever, so that you'll have that to be able to look at. I like both. I'm not. It goes back to like we were talking with the RPG game. I guess I'm too old and set in my ways, and I try to enforce what I like on everybody else. So I guess I don't know if that comes from being a dad. I guess I don't know, doing my way or the highway. No, not really. But we'll see as we go along. Again, that's on that list of 50 things. And we're trying to finish getting all of our dual cast stuff set up so that we'll be ready to do some more new figures. We built swag bags today. Oh, there's so much. Oh, he goes crazy. PDF is great, right? And that is certainly when we build the PDFs, they'll be and we'll build an index, so we'll have it so there that it'll be easier to search for everything. So will there be any other faction-based heroes like Dana Murphy, General? Of course there will be. We've got dozens of them. We just haven't introduced all of them yet. We'll get into, as we work more on the factions, and we'll talk more about who's in charge, leaders, politicians, officers, things like that. So yeah, no, there'll be lots of more people coming down the road. So hopefully that'll be, like I said, where I'm getting artwork put together for the new initiative deck. I think there's a few in there that will be introduced, giving you little words of wisdom, little nuggets of things. Nathaniel Walker should be a hero for the Templars. I think he's already in the book. I think he is an officer, I believe, in the Templars. Is he not? I got a book right here. I could look, see what the official name of that person is. Go to the Templars. Marshal. There's a Marshal Nathaniel Walker, in charge commander of the 4th Knights Assault Regiment. There you go. Page 97. You're all set. You didn't even get your French version of your name. We need to Frenchize your name. He sounds pretty cool to me. He can be. Sometimes he has a little trouble here and there, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do with him. All right. So what else? What else can we talk about? What is another question tonight? Oh, I'm going to sleep on you. Long day, another long day tomorrow. But hopefully, I have Taco Tuesday to look forward to tonight. I don't know for sure. Have to shake the magic 8-ball. Will there be tacos tonight? Any details on ReaperCon? Not any more than I've already given you. So they are just now getting into gear on this. We will have a vendor booth there. We'll have a couple of tables throughout the show with games set up on them. My plan at this point is to have the desert board and then the board for the Tale of Two Cities scenario. So we'll have that to play. Anybody can sit down with it. And of course everybody will, people come and go. We'll do some learn to plays. It sounds like we're going to have a table somewhere to do the role playing game. My hope is to do those in the evening. We shall see. We'll see how that goes. I'll have to arm wrestle James for it. We had a legit talk. We generally have a legit Taco Tuesday. And it is good. I probably could eat tacos just about any time. Tacos are good. Be one with the taco. CAVCon after hours. Yeah. Well, and that's kind of my hope is, without, we won't have a tournament, everything like that. So, it'll make it nice to kind of have a more relaxing evenings where I can actually do things. I am ready for in-person shows. Those are, like I said, those are the things through the year that really recharge my batteries. And without those, it's kind of up and down at times. But we'll get there. It'll get better. So. I would imagine. I really don't think we'll see everything really back to normal this year, show-wise. I think it's by the time everybody's really comfortable and feels like everything's back on track, I think it'll be too late in the year and kind of out of showtime. So. But like I said, we'll do that. We're going to start planning again for we'll do another virtual show. I probably won't do it until the beginning of next year, but we'll try to get everybody together. We'll try to get a lot of new people, a lot of new things. We're learning as we go. So there's I've watched some things other people have done. So we'll get that figured out. I know it's virtual shows just have their own thing. It's more, the stuff is going to have a lot of talk based things. The JR are going to have a campaign or two in it. They are not. The JR is strictly going to be fluff book, background, stuff like that. But there will be piles of nuggets in there that you can use for games, scenarios, campaigns, whatnot. So, will you do any other shows besides ReaperCon, assuming nothing goes wrong? As of right now, no. Right now, ReaperCon's the only show that we can really commit to. We kind of talked about this over the weekend during the show. If a show is not real close, or can commit to the fact that they're not going to cut down what they're doing for attendance purposes, we can't commit to the show. We have to have a certain number of people to be there to make it economically worth it to go. So, you know, we might do, I don't know, depending on when it times out, you know, we might be able to do an Oklahoma City show or something like that. But are there any designs or art for the big ships? Not really. I'm assuming you mean more of the interstellar stuff. There's a couple of them in the book. I think there's a Terran and I don't know, what's the other one that's in there? If you look on that page 35, you can kind of see kind of an assault ship on there, something. I'm not sure what it is. And then there on page 24, there's a Terran destroyer. So, a couple of ships in there. Yeah, the big ad page. That's the one that's got the big Terran. I don't know if it's I don't know that we ever assigned anything to it. It was just kind of a design that we put together, and one time we were kind of thinking about that. I like I said, I don't know. I don't know. We designed the ship and didn't have anything more in place other than, hey, this is a cool ship. So at some point, I'm sure we'll try to put some more stuff to it. We didn't spend a lot of time on the whole spaceship side of things. So, but like, and listen, I don't think that we'll ever do a true ship miniatures game. I could see doing some kind of a board game, or I don't know, board game, but some kind of a hybrid type game that we could do some ships for, or something that might be cool. Obviously now with the dual cast, you know, things are liable to change from one week to the next. So now that we can do that all in-house, maybe we'll do some more stuff with ships. We'll see. Ooh, like a box game. Yeah, something like that. Some kind of a, you know, just something that you can sit down and play. You know, I think, I mean, I don't know, something like Naval War or something might be a card game, or maybe a hybrid card game, something. I don't know. I've always wanted to do a box board game. I've had several ideas for them. It just never got to the top of the line. So, would you be able to do the big tater and dual cast? Actually, we would, because of the molds. Rumors of CAV dice. It is something that we want to do. There are we have access to some dice molds and stuff like that, but it's down the road. Like I said, I've got. It's kind of like the RPG. I know that we've talked about things and touched on things and stuff like that, but we just haven't gone to that next step. The Starhawk 6, we have the model ready, but we're not doing a Starhawk 6. We're doing a Starhawk 7. So I think they're close enough that you'll be okay with them. But we're right now that's the plan. So I'm talking to about a couple of different people about producing them, um, or we may wait a little bit longer and see if we can't do them in dual cast. So the molds are big enough to do one. It's just a matter of seeing what we can how we can make it happen. I think there's some, I don't know, they're on the Facebook pages. They've been bouncing around. There's some videos and stuff of the Starhawk 7. So it basically is really an updated body and legs. So that's very ideal. It's got a little different arms on it because I think it has bigger MRACs on it. And then the missiles got updated a little bit. They'll be at both. That's why we decided to go with the 7 instead of the 6, because we've got a 6 Mini already. So we designed the Starhawk 7 to be the new 32 millimeter, and then do a 10 millimeter version as well. So we'll kill two birds with one stone. You know, maybe down the road, maybe we'll come back and visit the Starhawk 6 and clean it up and everything like that. But with still being in production and everything like that, I don't want to spend a lot of time switching gears and messing with it right now. We're trying to do, we want new stuff, new stuff, new stuff, new stuff. So. But 32, 28, I don't know. We go back and forth. Originally, I envisioned our stuff to be all in 32 millimeter. Since we're trying to kind of do some generic stuff too, we may tap it down and do 28 millimeter. I'm just kind of getting an idea of what a lot of the other stuff is that's out there. What infantry factions might be seen first? I think the plan is when we do the infantry, all the factions will be released at once. That's going to be the big kickoff for that line. Is there'll be figures for all 7 factions, and then we'll add to that, and then start doing some other things. Pilots, things like that. So. General Drake, we got to do a General Drake. We got to do a Dana Murphy. So we got lots of plans. A lot of plans, not enough time, not enough money, etc., etc. But we get there. Baby steps. I don't know. There's going to be quite a few. Now, there may not be all those figures and poses available right off the bat, but you know, there'll be a light infantry, a heavy infantry, and a power armor for each of the factions, and then we'll add as we go. But that should give us, you know, 3. I think we were looking around 30 figures for the initial release, so we'll have those figures. We may have a couple of pilots, things like that already ready to go. Maybe a Dana Murphy, maybe a General Drake. So one of the things too that I'm going to take into consideration is we had a lot of figures that were originally done back in the day. There was talk about doing a CAV skirmish game, and some of those figures ended up. They were sculpted, but they were never done as CAV. But they were released. Reaper released them in their line. So there's a Mount Vernon, there's a Rock Trooper in there. I think it's the Nova Corps troops were all Terran figures. So you know, I've got to go back and check them. I think they're all 28s. So it'd be kind of nice maybe to stay with those, because that gives you, there's a bunch of figures there that could be used as well that are pretty cool figures. So If they're not, then we'll go back and do our versions of them and go that route. So. Yeah, and I would imagine that they're going to kind of have three uses. I mean, they're going to be kind of generic, so you can use them in whatever game you want to. Obviously, there'll be something that for the RPG when we get around to that, and also I'd like to do an infantry skirmish game. We had intended on doing one way back when, still there at Reaper, and we just didn't move ahead with it. And I would like to get in there and do that. I think that would be fun. I think there's a lot of cool things that could be done with infantry and a vehicle and a cav or something like that. I've got the basically the rules for Warlord would work really good for a skirmish game with some changes and stuff like that, and because it uses its version of the damage track system, they tie together pretty good. So that's kind of the direction that we were going with it originally. Matter of fact, a lot of the work that got done for the Cav skirmish game became the Warlord, the last version of Warlord. So. But my hope is, as we get more and stuff released and we get a regular schedule and we have we have a steady push rather than these waves that we get with the Kickstarter and everything, that'll help overall. That'll let us get into some other projects a little quicker, try to get a little more help in, et cetera, et cetera. So I do know you guys were talking, I don't know if it was in Discord or last night or whatever, about fiction. I know we've got some pieces that we're working on. I've got a couple pieces I'm working on. I have wanted to for a long time, and I've talked to James about this. I would like to put together a little fiction anthology. So, but not just kind of put together, have everybody that wants to enter, 1,000 words, 5,000 word story or whatever, go through them and make sure our continuity and everything works okay with them, and throw them together in a PDF and throw them out there for a download. It's not anything that we would sell or anything like that, but if we could find enough people that would be willing to do a little story or something like that, I think that would be pretty cool. I really, really want to work on getting our magazine set up and released with stories and scenarios and stuff in that. Again, it's just if I get too far off a target, then something goes all the crap. So, well, right, and it'll become. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think that we will, as people write this stuff and turn it in, we'll go through it. We'll work with them to make sure that they haven't gone off the reservation too far. But at that point, after we sign off on them, they'll be official. So you would have the ability to actually put something in the game universe that will last. So. But that way, it's something that we can, if since it's free and a PDF and a download, we don't have to be overly grammar Nazis about it. Just make sure that it gets cleaned up and is readable, and doesn't go down a path that we would rather not go down. So. No, we don't want to see a bunch of new units being designed and, things like that. The Nathaniel Walkers of the world try to become official. All right. I know that I got a little bit, oh, sorry, later start tonight because had to run downstairs to turn the music off. So, but we've got 2 or 3 minutes left, so tight fast because we're getting ready to call it a night. Now, James and I will be back tomorrow night for CAVHQ Live. Hopefully we will get together at some point tomorrow and decide what we're going to talk about and have some stuff to do. Chris will be back Saturday sculpting, so thank you. I appreciate that. No, I was very, very happy with it. We had much more people than I thought would be around. Like I said, I don't have final numbers from Saturday and Sunday yet. I just haven't had time to go look at it, but I know Friday we had over 100 unique people show up. I think it ended up being like 120, 130 unique people show up at some point during the show. So I think that's awesome. I think when me and James did ours, I think we were lucky to have 20 or 30 people a day. So that part of it's really good. So we just got to keep beating the bushes, and you guys are, with your support and help, we'll keep growing the game and get more people involved and just keep going from there. Grow, grow, grow. It's like a big tree that we keep watering. Plus, if we can get more people to show up and stuff like that, we can do more icons, do more Cav guys. I think right now we've only got the 3 that we can put in there. So those guys at Twitch, they only let us do so much at a time. Those guys. Let's see. There you go. Voila. Oh, my nose won't stop running. Yeah, no, I'd love to put some more in there. Like I said, I think right now we're at like a 3 limit or something like that. But maybe down the road I'll change these out to something different for a while. All right, folks, we have come to the witching hour. So I am going to get off here. I am going home. Going to get a good night's sleep, hit the ground running in the morning again. So bear with us. I know normally we try to ship everything out within 24 hours around here, but that's not going to happen this week. So stay with us. Don't despair. Nobody's going to get their stuff any sooner than anybody else. So we'll get it all out. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Be safe. Good night.